If a woman does this, cut your losses. I promise you 99.999% of the times, if a woman does this one thing right here, you want to pack it up and cut your losses, because I promise you, no matter what you think, she's going to waste your time and lead you on. Now, this has happened to me multiple times, but now that I've got more experience in the game, I recognize what it is and why you should not entertain this. Now, before I get into this, I just want to say this is off Hinge. I have a Hinge account where, I had a prompt where I said I like to watch anime, and this girl slid up saying, oh, what's your favorite anime? And we started talking about anime, and then after I wanted to get the conversation off the Hinge app, this is the one thing that you want to avoid, right? Alright, so I don't have the full conversation because she unmatched me, but in the process of me doing this, where I took these screenshots, I recognized, hey, you know what, this would be a perfect video to make and actually show you guys why you should not entertain this type of woman, or why you shouldn't even, pursue this type of woman, because this is a red flag in my book. And if you know anything about my channel, I suggest that, you should let girls hit you up first, because it shows that they have high interest. And she did have high interest, or what I thought, because she was, carrying the conversation, actually asking me what I like to watch and what my favorite anime was. And after a while, if you texting on the dating apps, of course you want to get it off the dating app and get it to the number. And this is where the problem occurred, right? So where I took the screenshots at, she said, what's your name? I said, Jaden. I sent her my government name. And then this is where the problem occurred. I said my number over, right? 919. Oh shit, why am I about to say my number out loud? I'm tripping. She said, hey Jaden, I'm Jaharaya, right? If you want my number, you'll have to ask. I said, okay. Now this is a red flag, because for one, they're not being submissive, and two, they're not letting you lead. In any situation with a woman, you want to be able to lead, because if you cannot lead, they're just going to make it difficult for you to lead the interaction, plan the dates, and actually lead the situation, because it's basically tug of war with you. You're trying to do one thing and they're trying to do the other thing. You're trying to do this and you're trying to be the man and lead, and she's not really trying to have that. Now mind you, this girl did have some clout, and when I say she had some clout, I searched up her TikTok, and this girl had about 400k followers on TikTok, 60k followers on Instagram. So this girl did have some clout and some type of ego on her, right? So boom, she said, if you want my number, you'll have to ask. I said, okay. And she sent the smiling face, because I'm not gonna budge to this. I already sent you my number. I'm not gonna turn around and send you my number. So I said, not gonna lie, you're gonna have to text that number. I already gave you my number. You got a big ego, question mark, because these girls right here, they have a big ego off of basically sitting here and saying, you know what, he gave me his number. Nah, you're gonna have to ask for my number so you text me. Now this is also a power move to see how bad you want them. And I thought, hey, maybe if I just stand my ground, that she might switch up and actually text me, because normally if you do run into a girl who is trying to test you and see, okay, is he gonna stand his ground, or is he gonna budge if I say you have to ask for my number? There are instances where they might turn around and actually text your number, but this girl, which is majority of girls, held against that, right? So we saw it over here. I said, you got a big ego. She said, nah, never. I said, so why won't you let me lead? She said, I have no problem doing that. And then sent her number. And then I sent my number. And then basically after this, she didn't text me, and she was like, I'm not texting the number. I said, well, to be honest, I'm not going to text that number. I already gave you my number. I don't feel the need to text your number when I already gave you my number. Now, yes, you might say this is petty, but it is all a power play on the woman to get the power and see how bad you want her. Now, of course, I have a naturally abundance mindset. So you said, you know what? I lost the girl, and am I a little hurt that I lost the girl? Just a little. Does it really matter? No, I don't really have a connection with this girl. She wasn't gonna let me lead, and there would have been problems down in the future where, maybe if I wanted to go to bowling, she would have been like, I don't really feel like bowling actually. I want to go to the movie theaters. Even though I don't want to go to the movie theaters, she would have just kept constantly putting up a barrier of what she wanted to do and not what I wanted to do. And yes, there's nothing wrong with that when you're in a relationship and y'all are compromising for each other, but in the beginning of any interaction, the man should be able to lead the interaction and actually do what he wants to do, and maybe take some suggestions from the girl. It should not be, I'm not gonna text that number, you text mine. If I already sent my number out, you should not have a problem with texting my number versus me having to text yours. That's games, and you're just being silly and being goofy at that point, and we do not stand for that. So you know what, I'm not really that hurt that I took this loss, other than this girl did have a lot of clout, which I peeped and I was like, oh shit. But at the end of the day, clout is nothing but people who follow you. It's nothing to worship over or get on the ground about. So you know what, it's just another girl to me. Oh well, I lost you because you want to do these dumbass games. Oh well, you just wasn't the girl for me.